When I was in college, I majored in journalism because my plan was to be a journalist, television anchor person, reporter, and then go on to law school. So I planned that out and I did just that. I worked as a television reporter and an anchor person right after graduating for about 3.5 years. And then I went to Loyola Law School, earned my law degree, and I had planned to practice law right after that. But while I was in law school, I went to work at a television station kind of part-time as a student intern. And while I was there was an incident where a bank robber who had committed a bank robbery in Washington, D.C. was hiding out in New Orleans, Louisiana. And he called the television station I was working in New Orleans and wanted to give himself up. He had indicated he committed a robbery in Washington, D.C. and had accidentally killed a teller while that robbery was in progress. And he wanted to give himself up in front of the cameras so that he would not be hurt or harmed by the police. And so I went over to my director over the newscast that night and said, "Hey, I've got this guy on the telephone. He says he committed a robbery and he killed a teller. What do you want me to do? Do you want to get some cameras out there?" And I remember she said, "We don't have time for that. The news is in 5 minutes. Just call the FBI." So that's kind of like how my whole interest in the FBI came to be. I had never really thought about a career. And right after I started meeting the agents who had to come and talk to me about this particular incident, they arrested the bank robber. It was a smooth operation. They came over to interview me. They had to prep me for trial because he had testified to me. And they started recruiting me at that time. And by the time I graduated from law school, I had planned on becoming an agent. The agent who was conducting my background investigation called me about some problems on my application. He came over, talked to me, and we were working through the things. And he said, "If you need any help with anything, physical fitness or anything, just let me know because we want to definitely get you through the process." And I said, "You know what, I don't know how to do a real push-up. I was doing it the way females did it, from the knees." And he says, "Well, listen, let me take care of this. I'll come back and I'll run through the whole program with you." He ended up becoming something like a coach to me. He was a former Marine. I mean, every time I tried to do a push-up, if it wasn't good enough, he'd make me do it again and again and again. He'd say, one, right? I ended up marrying that guy. Yeah, I think being an agent, married to an agent, and having children and a family can be extremely difficult because there's always going to have to be somewhere in that group. If someone is moving up into levels of the executive levels, someone in that group is going to have to take on more and more responsibility with the family. And so with me and my husband, as I moved up, a lot of times he'd step out of the program because he was a manager and a supervisor just as I was, and if I moved to a new location and a new role, he would step out so that someone would be at home with our son during those really difficult hours when I had to work some long hours. But we also had a problem in being married and being agents that sometimes we were both called at the same time. We would both be called out for some late night events. For example, there was a shooting at the post office in New Orleans at one time, and he and I were both called out, right, to handle that situation. Same hours, working all night, and someone has to be around to help take care of our kid. A lot of times, because we moved so much in the FBI, it took the children and the spouses of other FBI employees would step in and take over that role of helping us as family to take care of our child. That's the concept of the FBI family. There are people who are always there and will take care of you and pick you up and help you out when you need it.